welcome back to the Mushrooms, everybody. I am here with Brett and Chris. Now, I predominantly know you guys from the Gifford, but, you know, explain to kind of everyone what your roles are and what you do.
Well, I do marketing, entertainment and event organising at the Gifford and the Tap and Tanner in Walsall. The Gifford's in Wolverhampton, and Chris is my sound engineer along with his team. And what do you do?
My name's Chris Meddings and I run noise recording in Wolverhampton and I do the sound for Brett. And we also do a podcast together called the Metallum Podcast. And I'm also in a couple of bands, Dormy Attack and Cost Effect.
Amazing. Really cool stuff. Yeah, we've played with you guys a couple of times.
Yeah,
and like,
always a good gig.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't think I've listened to your other band though, because the Dawn Attack, we've played together quite a few times, haven't we?
Yeah, well, we're on the same circuit because they're metal bands. But Cost Effect, we're more like an all rock kind of thing, so it's a lot softer. So we don't really travel in the same gig circles kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Oh, well, speaking of gig circles, tell me kind of what's going on and what are you excited about? Because you guys put quite a lot of gigs on.
Yeah, we've just coming out to the back end of February, which we've done gigs on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, Tuesdays and some Wednesdays. We've been doing predominantly every single Thursday has been the heats for the Mammoth Fest. Mammoth Fest Best of Bands 2018.
Yeah, it's like a battle of the bands. It's quite similar to Metal to the Masses, but it's on a different kind of scale kind of thing. So the bands all play together, and whoever wins the heats gets to play Mammoth Fest. But the final of it is at Mammoth Fest.
Oh wow!
So that the final is there, and when they win that, I think they get like a record deal or something.
Sounds good.
Each region, there was the organiser of Mammoth Fest contacted us. There's 11 promoters throughout the UK in 11 regions, and we were fortunate enough to be asked to be one of those.
Wow.
And as I say, we have as many heats as we want, as many semis as we want, all to the last final, which is the 12th of May.
Right.
And on that final, one of the bands will go forward, and they will play the Day Fest at Mammoth with the 11 other bands, and then, as Chris was saying, the winner from that then goes forward.
Brilliant.
So yeah, the Mammoth Fest gigs, I think by the time this airs in March, is it? I believe.
Right. Somewhere around there.
Coming up to the semi-finals, so get yourself down to the Gifford and check out some new hot metal action, because they
absolutely. And I'm sure by the semi-finals as well, like, I mean, even in just the first round heats, all the bands will be incredible, but by the time you get to the semis, they're just going to keep getting better and better, aren't they?
I think this was one of the things Chris mentioned, Metallum earlier. Obviously, that's where we sprung with the podcast from, but Metallum, the Gifford's band competition, I think you see it more so because you can see all these fresh new faces and how they've developed in the last 2 months of your competition. It's always great to see. It's cool like that. It's nice to see a fresh young band that you've never seen before that could potentially be their first or third gig that they've ever done in that band with that lineup, and then 2 months later at the final see how they've progressed. It's great to see that, and it's cool.
Semphora, for me, are like a classic example of that. I mean, they played their first gig at Metal to the Masses last year.
Yeah.
And since then, I mean, they got through to the semis that year as well, you know, and since then they've just progressed and progressed and progressed. It's really nice to kind of get behind bands from the beginning and just see how they've been growing. So, Mammoth Fest then next year?
Yeah, hopefully. Like I said, this is the first year that Mammoth Fest have taken part in this, so next year we've spoke to the organisers, it's definitely happening.
Amazing.
Bit bigger, bit more progression, even, you know.
So there you go, guys. Want to get involved with Mammoth Fest? Get in contact with Brett and Chris here, and they'll be able to give you all the details for next year, and get yourselves down to the events as well that are happening over March and, you know, April.
April, the big one that we've got in April is the Mayor's Fest, Wolverhampton's Mayor's Fest. It takes place at Wolverhampton Civic. No, take that back. It takes place at Wolverhampton Slade Rooms. And this is the third year that we've been running this now. We get together, there's a few friends of ours, and this is now going to span over 2 days. The first day being the Saturday, the 7th of April, which will go in the Slade Rooms, an all-day charity gig with Voodoo Sue headlining along with many other bands, Naked Sunday, Shine, Devil's Fire, Unhinged.
Wow, so again, it's just a classic example of something just growing and growing and growing, isn't it?
And then we go into the Sunday and we've got the acoustic stage downstairs, and then upstairs we've got Iconic Eye headlining along with the likes of These Wicked Rivers, Alexis. It's failure is an option. It's not just, you know...
it just sounds like you've got a whole variety of stuff going on there as well, you know.
I think that's the thing. It's because it's grown in so many years now and we're getting bigger and bigger. we have now started to say, okay, then, you know, we're not just about this certain style of music. Let's introduce this genre. And it's nice to say, you know, people are still turning around, buying the tickets, coming to experience new music in genres that they may not have been interested in.
Like, the bands that you guys kind of encounter all the time, I guess that kind of goes in hand with the podcast too, right? Because you're constantly looking for bands to play and things
so
like that as well.
The podcast kind of thing came out of that Battle of the Bands that we did at the Giffard and Metallum one, and it was basically, we did that to help young bands come through and get gigs and stuff in the local area, but we could do more. So now we have unsigned bands and we interview them on the show, and we do play music. The format is more like a radio show, so we'll talk and then we'll play a lot of songs and talk then songs, and then we'll have an interview. But it's all unsigned music that we use, from the intro music to the outro music, all the music in between, everything's unsigned bands. Obviously all with their permission, obviously. We don't just play random bands. And we like to try and see if we can give them a voice and stuff, because there are other places doing it, definitely. I mean, you guys yourself do it as well, you know what I mean? But I think there needs to be more, lots more, you know what I mean?
Definitely. It's always nice to see people on the scene, because the people that tend to do it are those that are kind of in the scene themselves as well. And everyone who kind of does this thing as well just seems like really down to earth, and you just can't do enough to kind of like help people and push people up. It's a really nice thing on our local scene in particular. We kind of, I played a few gigs myself with a few bands from out of town, and everybody has mentioned how amazing like the Birmingham scene is. Like everyone like. There's other scenes that, like, you know, just want to put people down, and like the Birmingham scene and like Wolverhampton, we just seem to be helping each other to pull each other up, and
it's
stand
on each other's shoulders, don't we? And it all helps. It all helps, because I just hate that kind of mentality of we're in it for ourselves and we're in it for the money. It doesn't work like that. No. And then you get, like, you know, lots of people saying that the scene's dead, and the scene's not dead. There's so many good bands on the scene. It's amazing. If you just go out and watch some shows, man, you'll see it's not dead.
We look at it as though it's a community. I mean, we were talking, and in our podcast we mentioned this, and we said it for last year's. One of the biggest shows that we noticed this from was last year's show with XVII, their album launch. And we said this, didn't we? The amount of other bands that turned up to see that show and support it. And it was just like, it was a nice little community of everyone coming together.
We get that a lot as well. Like, you know, the events that we've played recently, there's been a lot of kind of support from the other bands like on the scene, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see regulars on the scene as well. So you guys are kind of like looking for music and stuff constantly playing in your podcast, and bands to interview. So if anybody wants to get in touch with Chris and Brett, we'll pop their kind of details up on the screen.
What's it called?
MetallumWolverhampton@gmail.com.
There you go.
If you send us an email over with some new music, we will play it, we'll give you a listen, and you could potentially end up with a show with us in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, come ask and play the Giffard.
Awesome.
Or, saying that, you could also email or get in touch with us through that at bretthall2000@gmail, because we are going to try and introduce another... Don't do that. A band competition in one of our other venues in Walsall, because as you were saying with the scene and whatnot, we're trying to expand. There's no live music venue in Walsall at the moment that does originals, so we're going to try and expand, and we're going to give you guys out there, if you fancy, a little band competition, and the winner of that band competition next year for 2019 will get 4 paid gigs throughout the year at our open pub venue in Walsall at Tap and Tanner.
That sounds incredible. So get on that, everyone.
It's a good prize.
You heard it here first. Is that an exclusive?
That is an exclusive, yeah. You can have that. You can have that. Yeah, because I hadn't told him. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to start running that mid this year at Tap and Tanner. It'll be on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and the winners of the competition will go forward into next year and get 4 paid gigs throughout the year. Also, it's bringing original live music back to Walsall, which is what we're going to try and do.
It's really nice to see you guys making an effort and trying to bring original music back up, especially like, you know, in today's day and age where a lot of music venues are like going, you know, so it's really nice to see you guys like making an effort to kind of keep the original stuff going, because I think there is a call for it as well. I think a lot of people, like, especially if don't know if you guys have heard about what's going on with the flapper and that kind of thing. There's such an uproar over that, and like so many people have that mentality.
And there's such a huge petition to stop that happening, and it's still gone ahead. And you're like, what are you doing? I've had so many fantastic gigs. But apparently they're doing this whole, if it's going to go, we're not going to go quietly. And they're putting on loads of gigs like every night in the last month. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Honestly, Hand on Heart is like my favourite venue to play, and I'm personally extremely gutted. Like if it does go, so yeah.
So go out and watch the music.
Yes, absolutely. Support your local scene.
The flapper's going out and it's not going out quietly. Get down there and show it your support.
Right, well, we've got a couple of minutes left. So what we like to do with a lot of people that come on here is do like a little game. So sometimes we do Would You Rather, or like, you know, Song, Marry and Void and stuff. So I think with you guys we'll do a few questions. And we'll do a few kind of like Would You Rathers. So
just be prepared. When you guys come on the Metallum Podcast, we'll have the same thing.
Yeah, we'll throw this. When you guys come to us, we'll throw in one.
We won't do it now, but when you come on the Metallum Podcast, we'll spin it round and we'll do one as well.
No fear.
Kind of glad I picked the questions I did now, because they're not that bad.
Awesome.
Okay. Would you rather be completely invisible or be able to fly for one day?
Could you turn the invisibility on and off?
I don't know. I guess that's down to you.
But if you can turn the invisibility on and off, are you invisible forever or just one day?
Be completely invisible.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or be able to fly for one day.
If you can turn that on and off, the invisibilityness, definitely that. But if not, then I'll fly for a day.
Yeah, if you've got to be stuck being invisible forever, then it's got to be fly for a day.
Fair enough.
Imagine all the places
you could go. Do you know what I'd do as well? I wouldn't
go back.
No, I wouldn't do anything useful at all. I'd make myself fly just 2 feet above the ground constantly, so I just look really tall.
So you're like
levitating.
levitating.
Do it for one day.
Exactly. I'll just really weird everyone out for a day. I'll waste it, man.
Would you rather have the ability to teleport? Oh my gosh, I can't even talk now. Teleport or read minds?
Teleport.
Yeah? That was quick.
Yeah.
What's your reasoning for that?
Get about more, see more things.
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
I'd
Rob Banks.
Yeah.
Nah, read minds.
Would you read minds?
Have you ever seen What Women Want? Have you seen how useful that stuff is?
I could no. I
Come on.
No.
Mel Gibson, What Women Want.
No.
Great film, man.
Is he?
Yeah, watch that.
I'm uncultured.
Yeah, watch
Okay,
that.
I'll go home now and watch that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd
last
teleport.
one.
He would mind read then.
Last one then, guys. Would you rather have a golden voice or a silver tongue?
Oh, that's interesting. Literally, or?
Take it how you want.
Well, I've already got the golden voice.
I suppose that means I've got the silver tongue then.
There you go. That's your new promotion's name.
Yeah.
The golden voice and
Silver
silver
tongue.
Silver tongue. Definitely.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming down and getting involved. It's nice to chat to you guys. And as we said before, get in touch with you guys if you want to get shows in Wolverhampton and also be on the podcast that you guys are involved in as well.
Definitely.
So I'm sure we'll put the links in this video. But awesome. Thank
Cheers,
you.
Guys.
Thank you very much.